Yo, good morning.
Good morning. What
How
a
you
day to
doing,
warp.
Sean?
Sean seems out of sorts today.
I am. What happened to
You
the
still
open?
with us, Sean?
Yeah, we
Set
did
up the
it.
warp zone without the open. Or did I miss the
Right? Okay, here we go.
We're coming
Yeah,
in
now
hot
we have you,
today.
open? We're
Sean.
coming in hot. This is the cold open.
Coming in hot, man.
Yeah, there you go. So today we've got a unique edition called Useless Fashion, and let's just hop in. So Sean, tell us, you tracked this down. Can you introduce it for us?
I think it's a Gucci and Adidas umbrella, parasol, but it's not waterproof. So the idea behind this whole thing is that Caleb is kind of a fashion icon, knows everything about fashion. I know nothing. I just saw this, and I was like, I want to talk about fashion because high fashion is weird, especially this. Like, can you explain what is the point of having an umbrella that has no waterproof anything?
It seems very Victorian. Like it's definitely something of that era. You know, you're just trying to be seen. You're showing off your Adidas allegiance. You're not a Nike person, not a Keds person.
Is this like
And
Bridgerton needed ad like needs ads?
Oh my gosh!
Like,
And look at that
I know how to
handle.
get ads in. Next we'll have
The
like a
handle looks like
Subway
a
umbrella.
Freemason symbol.
Yeah, at $1,300, I think this is definitely an example of decadence in our culture, and an example of how someone, if to buy an umbrella that's not even waterproof, I think that's the first level of ridiculousness. Although I admire it, I think it's beautiful. I think the fact that they spent so much time putting this together, like, I believe that's probably a hand carved wooden handle, which is great. It's probably great, fantastic quality oak. But as much as I can say as this is beautiful and spectacular, you're just gonna stick it on your, I don't know, as soon as you walk in, you're gonna hang it there, and you may take this out a couple times. I think it's more of a summer umbrella just to kind of diffuse the light, but that may be me just trying to give it more credit than it actually deserves. Because I mean, what's an umbrella that doesn't keep you dry?
I'm gonna go along with what you're saying, Caleb. There's many times where I find myself out in the sun where I wish I had a sunbrella. You know, maybe I need this Adidas Gucci one. I should probably keep it at my side because it's a hot week out there. Like in Tucson, you need it more for the sun than you do the rain anyway. I forgot what it was even called. We get it so rarely. So yeah, like maybe there's some value to this. Maybe it doesn't need to. Maybe umbrellas don't need to be waterproof. This could be a breakthrough.
But think about it, you have all your umbrellas next to your door, and you go to grab an umbrella because it's raining outside, which I know that doesn't happen here. I don't know what rain is. But you grab this one on accident. You're just walking around. You're like, oh, oops.
And in the wake of, I like to bring everything back to the Batman as often as possible, especially now that, well, I don't know if Caleb's seen it. Maybe have you seen it, Caleb?
Part of it.
Okay, so you're in the club now. Part is all you need because it's 3 hours. You can watch all of it. Very few people. Penguin sees other uses. He doesn't only block the sun. He doesn't only shield himself from rain. He attacks in several ways with umbrellas. He's got like the best collection of umbrellas I've ever seen, especially the 1960s Batman from the Campy TV show. Think what he could do with this. Like, I bet that Colin Farrell's mind is just spinning right now with the possibilities. What could he do with an umbrella arsenal like this? Look at that hook on that.
I was going to say that hook, man.
Yeah, that's nasty. You got to avoid this. If I see someone toting this around, I'm going to steer on the other side of I'm warping to the other side of the street. That's what I'm doing. I don't want any part of this.
I like the handle. I like that hook. That's the best part about it. The rest of it just looks like you're supposed to be eating like pizza underneath it.
Yeah, that looks pretty. I'm up for that. You guys want to do umbrella pizza after this?
Yeah.
All right.
Pizza under the umbrella, the parasol.
Yeah. Parasol.
Look, see, I'm trying to give this some practicality. Like when you have it closed. Oh, here we have a comment. Let's see. It's cheering on for high fashion today. Yeah, what's the point? Well, with something like this, I would actually I would try to use that hook. Like if I were lazy, I would use it to like close the door, or I would use it to pick up something,
Oh,
or
that's
I would
such a
use
good
it to
idea.
annoy my coworker.
Could be a
You know,
gardening
I would
tool.
try to annoy my
Yeah.
coworker and like poke them.
You might be able to harvest wheat with that hook.
You know, like the
tilling
scene in
fields?
the Kingsman where he has the
Mm.
cane and he like throws the beer bottle in the guy's face. You could use that for the same thing.
There's so many possibilities. Like I think I think this is a very useful umbrella. We're discovering uses as we go.
Yeah.
Like this might be like the breakthrough tool of 2022. Don't doubt it.
There you go. Now, I do have to say some background. Like I remember Sean and I were discussing that it's ridiculous. Yeah, some may think it's ridiculous that $1,300 for an umbrella that apparently doesn't even keep you dry. But what I do want to applaud, at least the Italian culture for this, is that they are, they have, it's not a little kid who's like 11 years old who's been making these umbrellas and pumping them out. I'm pretty sure it's a person with benefits and is getting paid hourly and is getting paid well. And when you buy this, something as interesting as this, you're supporting that person's lifestyle. You're supporting a brand be able to provide that, because that's not available for many people. But from that, I want to go into, I understand some things, some things might seem a little ridiculous. And one of those is a see-through transparent coat. Now, what are your guys' thoughts immediately?
Is it waterproof? It looks like it is. So there's some usefulness right there. Okay.
Yes, this is waterproof, but what are your immediate thoughts?
I know nothing about fashion, but I'll use what little knowledge I've got to say, if you want to protect your look, you got what you want to wear, you're proud of it. You don't want to block it with some ugly poncho or, winter coat. This is what you do just to show, hey, I've got it happening underneath this coat. I'm protected from the rain. I'm practical. I've thought of all the angles here, and I'm still going to strut my stuff outside. So that's where I'm going with that. It's again not useful in Tucson though. Wouldn't use this in town.
What about you, Sean?
It just looks like when you go to Disney and it starts to rain, and they're like, you buy those cheap $2 poncho. I mean, they're not $2 ponchos at Disney.
Yeah,
but you see everyone in the rain walking around in their little like garbage bags. I guess this is a little more form fitting than a garbage bag, but it's a little nicer. I don't know. I don't get it.
Would you wear it, Caleb? Is this something that you're going to be in your repertoire?
I own this.
All right.
And I clothed the model, and I was like, let's work this coat. So this is, I have to be honest, this is my coat.
You're leading the way.
Oh, real quick, someone commented to each his own the umbrella. Thanks, Mike. I think he's right,
I think that's the fashion credo, as it applies to everything, really, right? Like, who's to say what's right or wrong for whatever else? It's however you're able to own it, I believe. Can you pull it off? That's probably the bottom line of just about everything. I think I got that from Zoolander, by the
way. What else you got, Caleb? You got any more high fashion for us to explore?
Absolutely. So here's another one of my favorites. So this one we can split up into a couple sections. Oh, here. So Mike also added, not digging the transparent jacket. In the 70s, that was called a windbreaker. So, okay, we can go right back to the jacket then, since Mike brought it up. This jacket was about, I think, maybe like $200. I saw it as a worthy investment. Other people might just see it as plastic melted together. Would you buy that for $200?
No, but I've bought plastic things for $200 before, like toys,
Oh, I
like
have to mention it's
figures and
from
stuff.
Studerheim. It's a
So
Swedish brand.
I mean, we all invest in different things, and at
There
least
you
that
go.
one you can wear out in public.
Well,
I think
Maybe
for
if you
200
got
you can buy my entire wardrobe and then have a few bucks left over for like, like
maybe
McDonald's or
Mike says
something.
maybe if I had a 6-pack, I'd do the transparent jacket. There we go. I agree with that. Maybe that's the play.
Mhm.
oh, here, my bad. Yeah, I just saw that comment.
And see, now I'm thinking about I could see like
Props to
a
you, Mike.
professional
Yeah.
wrestler wearing that.
Oh man, if you would do a WWE 2K22 video with a guy in that, can you dress your guy in that, Sean? Do
Oh
you think
man, I should look and see if I can make one.
there could be some DLC where they put that as an outfit, an alternate outfit? That could be better than a championship.
All right, what else you got,
So
Caleb?
real
Yeah.
quick before we leave the jacket, I'll say I've made the mistake of wearing that with short sleeves or with something that was like polyester underneath, and you end up sweating. And so, believe it or not, you can actually wear that in cold weather because your body can't breathe. So it is practical in that way. You're literally just wearing plastic sewn well.
Do you guys remember, like at high school, like back in high school, when people were on the wrestling team trying to lose weight? This might not have happened. Like I hope this has been outlawed, but back in the '90s, anyway, they would try to lose weight because they had to make the weight, and they'd be wearing like things like this is running around. Maybe this is for high school wrestlers. Maybe
There you go.
do
High
it.
school wrestlers start a new
Mhm.
trend.
Mhm.
Pack those on. Okay. Now this is a two-part one. Are you one for handkerchiefs can also be a top, or do you think that's just useless?
I'm all for it. I think it's underutilized because why not? Like, why not? If you're not only going to use it for sneezing, right? So make a top out of it.
Well, I was gonna say you can use it as an ascot. You can cover it. You can cover your face when
Mhm.
you're robbing a train. You can blow your nose into it. I
Oh,
mean,
that's
why
great.
not?
The train robbery. There's not enough train robberies anymore. Like,
Yeah. What happened to that?
or there are, and they're just not being reported. Maybe it's our,
Yeah,
we need
maybe
to
it's
dig
our-
in. That's more of that. Because I would personally like to see
I
more
like the way
train
you guys
robberies
think.
updated. Maybe some video of them. Like once you know what though? Now that I think of it, we didn't have a train robbery. We had something on a train a while back though. That was a dark moment for our town. But yeah, Sean, like I think you're thinking you're going like Red Dead Redemption on that tangent, and that's what I like to hear about, man.
Okay, so here's where this goes into a two-part. So this bag is wooden, it's handmade, but if you could see, it's got like holes in it. Are you really gonna put anything in there, or is it gonna fall right out?
Well, here's where I'm gonna chime in on this one. Like, as I'm not an active user of purses. However, the people I've associated with who have them tend to be frustrated that they can't find things in them. So maybe if you can do some scouting around the outside, you're like, hey, I see where the brush is. Oh, this is where the thimble I was looking for is, or whatever else. You might be able to like do a little recon because it's see-through, because there's holes. Maybe you can find that stuff quicker. If maybe maybe it could be like a man purse that I could try. Go for it. How much does that one cost? Do you know?
That bag was probably about like 40.
Hey, it's in my budget range. I can pull it off. I'm gonna try. Maybe next week I'll bring my own $40 wooden.
I can't wait to see Phil walk into the office with this.
Yeah, mark your calendar. It's gonna happen.
Oh, whoa.
Would you guys
okay.
do it, or am I
Mike is
alone
cool
on
with
that
this look. Thanks, Mike.
Yeah. I think Mike's got a really
I'll
good
join you.
fashion sense. That's what I'm feeling right now. Popsicle sticks, yeah.
Yeah, he says made out of popsicle sticks and toothpicks.
Because like when you're second grade, you're making those popsicle stick, figures, whatever else. Why does that not go anywhere? Why does it end at second grade? Why can't it continue? And this creation is showing that it can. You can still make more stuff practical. You can sell it for $40. Think of that profit margin there.
Right?
Some second graders making so much money right now. They made popsicle stick houses, and suddenly their mom was like, "Oops, I dropped my stuff in there. Wait, this makes a great purse."
Did you guys ever do those projects like where you're just going through popsicles? You're like you're going for the sticks only. Like you're ruining popsicles. Like that could get you in trouble. You're 7 years old. That gave me some flashbacks. I probably was a little too liberal with my popsicle stick art back then. Maybe I can't pull out that bag anymore. Taking me to some rough places.
Going on from there, we got another edition of bags. Oh, here, wait, we got a comment too. What did he say? Oh yeah, Mike likes that we're recycling. So if we can keep up that, starting young, continuing on, we're helping the world go round, right?
Yeah, there's only so much we've got to use, so we got to make good use of it. That's a fashion do, as far as I'm concerned.
Yes,
that's why
yes.
I recycle my own uniform, my own daily work outfits for like years upon years, if not decades. Like, if neither of you had the pleasure of working with me like 10 years ago, but you probably would see me in this exact shirt and pants.
There you go.
Pants. So like that's recycling at its peak right there.
Mm-hmm. Here, going from there, I want to go into this fabulous, huge cloth bag. Now, is this ridiculous or is this practical? Look, see, she's just walking through the streets. The homeless or the people experiencing homelessness are admiring her bag. Just look, like
she can put if she can put so many soda cans in there, crushed up, especially. Go take them to the recycle plant, get a few bucks. That's a big bag. Like the bigger the better, right? Like
yeah,
it's like she's on a mission. It's empty right now. What can she fill it with? Like, how does her day develop after this? That's what I want to know. Like, she's got all sorts of options.
Maybe she just broke into the Met. Maybe she just snuck a little painting in there. That's a good Ocean's 11 sort of bag.
Yeah, no, Ocean's 8, because Ocean's 8 was the one that introduced female cast. So
right, so she can chill, she can hang out, she might be able to defend herself with that bag, don't you think? Like, I think if that bag were filled up, it could hurt someone.
Walking around with that bag is almost a threat. It's like, I got this huge bag, I don't care. You want to see what happens? Like, that's why she's so confident. She's oozing confidence right now because her bag's so big.
Is this why I have more confidence? I need a bigger bag.
It is. Yeah, it's why I don't either. It's why Caleb has so much, Sean, and you and I have so little. It's because Caleb's got his fashion sense, and you and I, we've got none of that. So we've just got like kind of gloom stuff. Caleb's all sure of himself. Yeah.
Mike, you are fantastic.
Mike is winning Facebook today.
Please come on every Monday, Mike. We need your comments. We can't do it without you.
He's so right. Look at the size of that. You could totally use that as a seat cushion. Just don't sit on the side with the button, Because that snap might poke at you.
Yeah.
Don't you think?
Always watch that button before you sit down in the stadium. You never want any of that business.
Yeah, he's like, look, you could take it to the U of A games.
And U of A softball could host the super regional. Is just saying, like, you might be able to use it this weekend.
There you
go. Walk in so fashionable, and then you could sit on it. It's amazing. It's multi-purpose.
Yeah.
Why aren't there more sittable purses? Wouldn't that change the game? If you don't have to carry the purse, you're sitting on it. Wouldn't more non-purse users tend to use them? I think maybe.
I really like the way Mike thinks. I want to applaud Mike for his entrepreneurship with how you can go from practicality to multi-practicality to comfort.
He's got all the angles covered. Like when we started this WarpZone, we had no idea where Mike was going to take us, and he continues to just lead us on.
This has become like a Shark Tank pitch.
Oh man, it's Shark Tank if like the ideas were actually good. And so, like, the Sharks didn't have anything to complain about. Like, they could only praise. Like, that, it would be a very low-rated episode, I guess.
Yeah, he's right. Look, he's saying that it just needs some blue, huh?
Yeah, I mean, this is definitely more of like a Wisconsin where they're all red. If you're gonna do U of A, you need a little blue for sure.
Yeah, it needs some blue, like some blue stripes, or maybe just a big, fat, UA right there.
Oh man,
I could see it though. Their marketing department needs to get on it. Oh, you're welcome, Mike.
especially in the time of monkeypox where you don't want to like touch surfaces as much, right? You gotta have like a
Right.
barrier between you and other stuff, and it's almost like a mask, for other parts of where you're gonna be sitting. So.
And I think, you know what? I think you might even be able to carry a small child in there.
Oh, that's always a good, yeah.
But yeah, maybe crack it open at least so the kid can peek out and see what's going on, like little baby
Get a
Yoda,
little air.
Grogu. Yeah.
Now, Sean, would you get this for your girlfriend? If she asked for this, would you say yes?
Well, how
yes
much is it first? We got to know the price.
Yeah.
Sean can answer that question.
Yeah.
Good question. I think this bag was like maybe 70, maybe.
Dang, that's
that's
smoking
not bad.
deal. Yeah, you got to do that. Because if you stick with the clearance bags, she's gonna find out. If your girlfriend shops, she's gonna know that you got it from clearance. You want to get her a full price $70 bag just to show you care.
And this bag is vintage. I must say.
I think I saw Audrey Hepburn use it in like breakfast at not Tiffany's. One of the lesser jewelers. One of the knockoffs.
Well, real quick, let's move off fashion real quick. I'm sorry, Caleb, but
I'm sorry, Mike.
We were talking about sports. Let's talk about a couple things that we watched this week. We'll save winning time for next. Let's talk about Chippendale because that's brand spanking new. And
I convinced Sean to watch Chippendale Rescue Rangers the movie, which is on Disney Plus. I was really happy with this movie. I didn't expect anything of it. I was really pleased. I begged Sean to watch it. I was shocked to see he actually did. So I thought it was very meta, very fun, a lot of references, a lot of characters that aren't Disney in this movie, which I don't know how they pulled off those deals. I'd like to see a documentary on the making of this movie. But Sean, you weren't as happy with me, I guess. Tell us your negative reaction.
My negative reaction. It wasn't so much negative as I just wasn't into it. I understood. I really liked the meta stuff. I really liked the direction it was taking. I'm hidden behind this lady here. I don't know how to get rid of her, but I am back behind her.
It's because she's confident, Sean.
She's confident enough that she's stealing the show from me. Let me see if I can. Oh, there we go. I'm back.
Oh, we lost.
She disappeared. She was covering me up with her bag. I remember Chippendale, but I haven't watched it in so long that I kind of forgot who any of them were.
But let me stop you right there. That movie fully acknowledges that nobody remembers or cares about the Rescue Rangers.
Yeah.
They're kind of irrelevant. But yeah, go on. Please do.
Yeah, and I forgot Gadget existed. I forgot about all of this, and then I kind of just skipped ahead because it wasn't doing it for me. I could see if you had kids or something, it would probably be a really good just watch for everyone, the whole family. And the end had a lot of references to a lot of random. The ugly Sonic booth was did make me laugh. That was really funny, but it devolved into just a bunch of references.
Yeah, that's all the movie is reference upon reference. And if that's
that sort of humor doesn't necessarily work for me. I mean, this is more highbrow than like an epic movie or whatever that is, but that references like that kind of just rub me the wrong way because of it just feels cheap and easy.
Too much. Yeah, it's too much. I get what we're going for, but to me, anything that brings back ugly Sonic, come on, man, you got to praise that because he's been wiped off of the face of history by the good Sonic movies. These two Sonic movies, no one remembers the trailer Sonic with the human teeth, and the movie just fixates on those teeth too, which I love. Focus, it does close-ups. You say it's good to watch with your kids. I did watch it with my kids. I think I proved the opposite. Like my kids are really annoyed while I would mansplain all these references to them. Like as a '90s, person who was somewhat young back then, at least. maybe you want to watch it without someone like me trying to like over explain it, or maybe you just want to watch it as someone who's kind of, you know, an older adult like myself, just kind of enjoy all those references rushing back into your life. It's fantastic. It's all about that Disney afternoon stuff with you had Tailspin, you got some Baloo in here, you had DuckTales back then. There's even a cameo at the end that I don't want to spoil, but I'm going to spoil it anyway because I know people won't see it unless I do. And Darkwing Duck even comes in. You see the wing. So.
Yeah, and the thing is, I don't know if you're familiar with the new DuckTales TV series, or there is a newer one.
It's absolute trash. Yeah, it's horrible.
Oh, I feel the opposite. Whoa. I actually like a lot about it. It's not as good as the original, but there are moments that I like. There are Darkwing Duck references. There's all kinds of references in there that I like.
I should give it a new shot. I trust you, Sean. I'm going to give it another shot just out of that recommendation.
I think the first season was a little rougher, but as it kept going, I liked that there was this overarching story. There was all kinds of it. To me, Disney is doing better cartoons right now, the TV cartoons, than most of the other Cartoon Network, Nickelodeon, because they've had Gravity Falls, they've had DuckTales, they've had Star versus the Force of Evil.
Even Bad Batch, Star Wars Bad Batch, was started off real bad. I kind of just watched more of it, and it gets better. It truly does.
Yeah, that's how I feel about the new DuckTales. I think season 1, it takes a while to get its footing, but once it does, I enjoyed it.
All right, you've convinced me. But what about you, Caleb? You're gonna give DuckTales a watch?
Yeah, I was a fan as a kid. I remember staying home from school and binge watching some of them sometimes when I was sick. So yeah.
Another show that you convinced me to watch was Winning Time, which I finished. And I don't think we ever talked about the last few episodes, but I don't know what your thoughts are, but I genuinely enjoyed this show way too much, and I know it is absolute trash. It's a complete lie. It fabricates so much, but there's something about it. Something about it has me, and just kept me watching.
This is such an Adam McKay. This is Adam McKay, like just going no checks and balances, being himself, going out and getting it. Just much like how another of our favorite shows, Sean, the Suicide Squad spinoff, Peacemaker, same deal. Like he's unchecked, he's going crazy. Like to me, wasn't a big fan of Don't Look Up. It was a fine movie, does not deserve Best Picture nomination, but man, this is so referential. This is like breaking the fourth wall. Just like it's just humor for the sake of humor, just being funny. It's got a lot of references, which I love, but it makes use of them. It's just great acting, great writing, and just great storytelling. And it shows how great it is, just the fact that it gets through to a non-sports fan like Sean, which is not easy to do in this topic show. But it's got Sean looking at Charles Barkley videos now.
I bought the book.
I'm so jealous, man. You're going to see that missing off your desk, just letting you know. We'll take a
I read 100 pages of a book about basketball this weekend. I don't know anything about basketball. But
now you do.
Now I do. That's how and it's not so much the game. It's not so much the sport itself. It's all the politics behind it. It's these people, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Magic Johnson. These are just such interesting people outside of the sport, even.
And the fact that every single one of them just hates this show, just trashes it, writes long articles about how bad it is. That makes me think it's just that accurate, spiritually accurate, if not factually.
Yeah.
Like they nail the spirit of these people, these icons, and like they all hate it because I think we're seeing sides of them that everybody else saw, but they didn't really want to be revealed.
Oh, and to be fair, the book has a lot of the elements of the show, but at the same, you can tell where the show kind of embellishes on things and everything. And the show itself says this is a work of fiction. Don't take it for anything but like everything I've ever read about Abdul-Jabbar, it's like that is exactly how he would act. Like I've known who Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is for years, of course, because he's been in movies. He starred alongside Bruce Lee. I mean, in one of the worst kung fu fights of all time, or martial arts fights of all time.
That's Game of Death, right?
Yeah, and it's terrible because you have little Bruce Lee versus Kareem, who just looks gangly and it does not work out. But anyway,
I hope a future season of Winning Time addresses that in some way.
oh, that would be so good. But I also want to say that the guy who plays Magic does such a good job. And now that I've like watched a lot of clips of old Magic games, he looks exactly like Magic Johnson at that point. It's amazing how alike these actors look to the. And usually when you do that, you get bad actors.
Yeah,
Like
even
if
Adrian
you
Brody
see-
looking like a young Pat Riley, which I didn't think was possible, but he really does.
Yeah, and it's like the Watchmen movie. Zack Snyder specifically got actors who looked like the characters in the comic, and you ended up getting a lot of really bad actors. And this is like completely different. These guys are doing a great job. I don't know who most of these actors are, but they're fantastic in the role.
These are star-making turns. This is like the launch of some great careers here because of Winning Time.
And John C. Reilly better win an Emmy. He better win a couple awards for playing Boss.
This is
Dr.
the role
Boss.
he was born.
So
he was
good.
born for this role. Like there's nothing he can ever do that could top this. This is better than Ricky Bobby. This is better than like Step Brothers. Anything he's done
Ooh.
surpassed.
For sure. Nope, I
Talladega
agree.
Nights, that's a big statement.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so since I don't know if I had technical difficulties, so
I think we have to call it now.
did
though,
you guys,
Caleb.
real quick, did you guys address Mike's Paris Hilton Chihuahua comment? I had some technical difficulties, so I never saw it until now.
I don't think we did, but yeah, nailed it again. Yeah, absolutely did.
Yeah,
It's a
Mike,
miniature
you're the
doghouse.
MVP of today. You're our own Winning Time. Thank you for your participation.
yeah. Mike, you brought this Warp Zone to life with your commentary, and our model is happy and expressive that you did. Okay, Phil, Sean, thanks for filling in everything else when I got locked out. Sorry about that.
No. Thank you for coming on and sharing fashion. This is a new direction for the Warp Zone. We don't usually warp in that direction.
It's a new frontier, not unlike Star Trek.
Oh, wait,
Maybe
real
we'll
quick,
talk
we
about
got-
that next time.
Oh, Mike says, sorry, fellas, I haven't been to the movies lately. That just means we got to do more of what Mike likes next time.
Yep.
More of that fashion. We'll bring it back sometime.
Bring back the fashion. Yep. Well,
Alrighty then.
we're gonna call it quits for today. We will be back. Some of us will next week. It's a
So
rotating
then-
cast. Never know who's gonna show up on the Warp Zone, but Phil will always be here.
Or not.
Or not. Depends. Anyway, I'm Sean Nugent.
I'm Phil Villarreal.
I'm Caleb Fernandez. See you next week.
See you next
Oh,
week.
Wait,
You
we
take
got
care
one
too,
more
Mike.
comment. We just got to give him credit. Take care. He's saying, take care, fellas. Thanks,
You
Mike.
take care too, Mike.
Thanks for being our number 4 this week.
Take care.